queridos amigos, estamos aquí otra vez en ¿Qué rollo con Adi? Su amiga Adi Fajardo, aquí recorriendo el hermoso estado de California. Bueno, vamos entrando aquí al lugar.
Set it down and it rolls downhill because those same forces radiate outwards, so it doesn't affect the direction of the bench.
Bueno, y aquí está la entrada del lugar donde es nuestro destino. Vamos a ver qué tal está aquí adentro. Hay bastantes carros aquí, vienen de diferentes lugares a visitar este lugar. Tiene una vista hermosa, estamos en las montañas y miren qué bello está. Hola queridos amigos, estamos aquí otra vez en ¿Qué rollo con Adi? Su amiga Adi Fajardo, aquí recorriendo el hermoso estado de California. Y aunque me ven con chamarra, pero es que ya está un poquito frío, no tan frío por allá como en el norte, más para el norte, pero ya está un poquito frío. Y más aquí donde estamos en... Aquí puede ver usted Santa Cruz, California, y en un lugar muy misterioso que me llamó la atención y quiero traerles para todos ustedes a ver qué tan misterioso está y a ver qué encontramos adentro. Así que vamos a verlo, no se mueva de su lugar y por favor comparte el video, denle un like y suscríbase. Así que vamos a ver qué hay aquí atrás. Gracias a nuestro patrocinador Mueblería Progreso, donde usted puede encontrar muebles hermosos de calidad y a buen precio. Y si no tiene crédito, no importa. Aquí ellos le van a conseguir que se lleve sus muebles a casa. Visítenos muebleriaprogreso.com.
All right, let's do this thing. How's everyone doing today? Good. How's everyone doing today? Good. All right.
Be enthusiastic.
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. My name is Owen. I'll be your tour guide today. This is the Mystery Spot, California State Historical Landmark number 1055. And before I get started, raise your hand if you've been to the Mystery Spot before. All right, I'm
still looking for it.
Huh? You're still looking for? I mean, same here. My eyes barely work. Who raised their hand? When was the last time you were here? Interesting quirks and features, and then we're gonna do some fun little demonstrations of what those quirks can do to people, and then you're gonna laugh at some horrible jokes that I totally haven't stolen from other guides. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with some history. So the Mystery Spot was originally purchased in the year 1939 by a man named George Prather, who originally wanted to buy the flat land at the base of the hill to build his summer home, but the lumber company selling him the land would only agree to that proposition if he also purchased the hillside along with it. So here we are. Anyway, the reason the lumber company was trying to get rid of that land was that anything they previously constructed had broken off its foundation and slid all the way down to the base of the hill. When Mr. Prather was informed of this, he immediately sent a team of surveyors to check out the soils, and those surveyors found a few mysterious things out. For instance, they found out that hill that we're all going to walk up, or halfway up rather, was harder to walk up than a hill of a similar incline, so prepare for your workout. They also noticed their compass readings were a little off from time to time, usually by 3 to 15 degrees, but sometimes completely off by 180 degrees. And all the weird effects that happened, including visual differences or weird feelings they felt, had all taken place within a circular-shaped area, 150 feet across, which is why it's known as the Mystery Spot, and its borders run through here. They run along that hillside, back behind the cabin, back along this way between these two trees, and back between these two concrete slabs. So you folks are inside the Mystery Spot, you folks are outside of the Mystery Spot, and I'm stuck on the border, as always. Let's introduce this piece of equipment. We're gonna use some of these throughout the tour. this is a level. For those that are unfamiliar with what a level does, it judges different elevations. We have this bubble in this vial, and it travels from side to side. It always goes up to the higher side of the vial, except for if I hold it like this, that bubble will sit right in the middle, undecided on which side is higher, which means that neither side is higher, which means we're measuring a surface that is considered level. So anyway, let's explain this here. These two concrete slabs that I have been standing on here, they were placed tier level throughout to mark the border of the mystery spot, with this one being inside and this one being outside. They're not level anymore because of course they're not. Why would they be? We have these trees here. As trees grow up, their roots grow down and out, offsetting the concrete above. And so to fix the problem, we grabbed a couple of 2x4s, shaved down one side of these to create a new level surface to work with, and I can show that here. You folks notice that bubble is undecided on which side is higher. Not on this side, not on this side. And I can flip it around to show that it's a fair level. You can see that it's still in the middle. The level isn't bigger on one side or smaller on the other. Move it over to the other board, the same result shows, undecided on which side is higher, and we didn't freeze the bubble in the middle. You can see that very clearly. So now that we've established the average elevation of these two ends of the boards as equivalent to the average elevation of these two ends, it's time to get started with our first demonstration, which requires two participants who are about the same height as each other. I'm looking at you, you raise your hand up, and I'm looking at you, you raise your hand up, first and second. Stand right there, face each other. Very good. So these two share a key similarity and a key difference. The similarity is their elevation. Neither person is higher up nor lower down than the other, and the difference is location. You're inside of normal land, so you should be feeling normal. You're already used to this. And you're inside of the mystery spot, so get used to it because we all will be for most of the tour. If you both look straight forward, you can measure where your eye level comes to and memorize that because it will look different in a moment. Switch places. Switch places with each other, you'll be able to see all of a sudden their eye levels come to different spots. You're still taller, but by a fraction of the amount compared to before. Yeah. So yeah, you've traveled back to your normal height because this is normal land after all. And you shrunk. I'm very sorry about what just happened. The mystery spot robs some of that height. Yeah, it does grow back as you exit. Switch one more time with each other. We'll be able to see the original site. You folks in the audience, you're not psyching yourselves out. This did happen on a surface that is level. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody. The mystery spot, inside of the mystery spot, same elevation. You should be feeling a little bit shorter than normal right now. It'll be your turn to feel shorter in a moment. Switch places with each other, we'll see that. Stand up nice and straight just like before, and you'll be able to see you're still taller by a fraction of the amount, yeah. Your height that you lose grows back as you exit. Switch one more time with each other, we'll see the same extreme difference. You folks in the audience, you're not psyching yourselves out. This did happen on a surface that is level. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody. Have time for that. But anyway, you may have felt a slight force pushing on your chest walking up that thing. That's what the surveyors experience. Those forces are coming from the center of the mystery spot, radiating outwards, and we'll explore how they work a little more in this courtyard behind this orange fence. Before we head in, you might feel a bit nauseous from here on out. These are described as similar feelings to motion sickness. This doesn't happen to everybody, but if it happens to you, that's normal. Don't panic. It'll wear off in 6 weeks. Now we're gonna make a semicircle against the orange fence lines right in here. Come on in. 6 weeks.
Bueno, vamos a ver aquí qué hay.
Make a fence to stand against. We'll do.
Yay! Yeah, nice. Oh yeah, it feels like dizzy. It feels like dizzy. Sí, ya para este momento ya me sentía súper mareada. Mi estómago, mi cabeza estaba sintiéndose muy raro. My head is like boom, 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 boom.
Spread ourselves out.
It feels horrible. No, se siente feo. Se siente mareado.
And this guy who's not so
Oh, wow.
I've had groups of 40
Look at the girls too. Ayaira.
Whoa!
It's a stark contrast. Same loud voice. All right. Is that everybody?
Yes.
Let's catch our breath after that. Inhale. Exhale. Welcome to the first courtyard, everyone. Welcome to the 11-degree lean. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't ready the first time. These might end up on Google reviews. I don't know what you guys
No, aquí se siente mareado, en este lugar me siento como mareada, como mi cabeza mareada.
like me. Take a look around. It's fun to play around with the different positions that you can stand at. Most of you are already facing the cabin. Let's all turn this way. And if you look down, your feet will be significantly further left than what you're accustomed to. And it only gets weirder from there. Turn 90 degrees to your left and you'll see what I mean. Because if you look down, you might be able to see your toes for the first time in 24 years.
Ah, boy.
Yeah. Weight loss program. We got a workout. We got results. Let's turn it face the other way. Turn 180 degrees so that you're facing the direction that I'm facing and look down and see your feet mostly, if not entirely, disappear. Now close your eyes and keep the same position. Place one hand on your scalp. That's the spirit of Michael Jackson.
Oh my gosh.
In the spirit of October 31st, you know, some people didn't want that day to pass by too quickly, so that satisfies what they want. Let's talk about this cabin. So everybody, inhale, exhale, focus your attention on the bright traffic cone as I talk about this cabin. So this thing was built by Mr. George Prather himself. Right after he bought this land, he deliberately disobeyed the lumber company when they were telling him, hey, don't build anything on that hillside. He said, no, I'm going to build it way up that hill as a normal looking structure. Yeah, a storm in 1941 sent the cabin tilting and sliding down, stopping right here all of a sudden. Now, many people think, assume, or conclude the trees stopped it from sliding because of their size and convenient position. And myself, I thought that the trees stopped the cabin too. When I was learning how to give tours, I said it was the trees in front of another tour guide. They had the entire audience applaud for me before saying it was the wrong answer. So yeah, these trees were not here. They're too young. Sequoia, sempervirens, redwoods are among the tallest and fastest growing trees in the world. These are 50, maybe 60-year-old little baby redwoods, and they're too young to have been here to stop it. Instead, Owen, what stopped the cabin from sliding? Well, this cabin stopped here because it reached the very center of the mystery spot. The center of where the forces you felt walking up that hill originate from. They're at a net zero and at their strongest magnitude, holding the cabin in its position. Let me show all of you lovely people what those forces look like on a visual scale. We have a special piece of equipment that can display them. But before I bring it out, it's important that we bring something to that, being our best energy. What does a crowd say when they witness something mysterious? Say it with me. They go, ooh, followed by, ah. Put it all together, the crowd goes, ooh, wow. I could have slept to that. Let's be about 3 times. The crowd goes, ooh, wow. I'm feeling good about myself now. Thank you. So without further ado, I bring to you our very own and very special board of mystery, and the crowd goes, ooh, wow. At a wood plank from Home Depot, you better believe it. So let's get in here. Let's take a quick poll. All right, raise your hand if you think that this is the higher side of the board, outside of the cabin. Raising your hand goes like this, by the way. Okay. Now raise your hand if you think the other side is higher, the side of the cabin. Now raise your hand if you think this board is level. Raise your hand if you think it's level. And raise your hand if you're not thinking at all. Ah, there's the rest of you. I'm glad to know that I'm not alone. Let's get somebody who is thinking though to come right on up to the level and say where the bubble is. It's right here. Can you see it from there? Where's that bubble?
No.
Say it loud for everybody. Can you guys see it from there? Where's the bubble?
Yes, it's in the middle.
Say it loud for everybody. They can't all see
It's in
it.
the middle.
Very good. So if we've established this surface as level, what should happen if I took this billiard ball and set it on the board?
Wow.
Absolutely nothing should happen. It should stay in place. Let's set it down. It stays there. It's an optical illusion that makes it not look level when in fact that's a level surface. Here's where it gets a little more strange.
That's crazy.
If I move this ball towards where the forces get stronger and stronger towards the center of the mystery spot, the ball does not want to roll inside. In fact, they want to reverse its direction.
That's amazing.
And the crowd goes, like and subscribe. Anyway, if you think this board has been built to help the ball roll a certain direction, such as being cut in a V shape or bowed, let's flip it around to the same notch where it's level. Give it a bit of a nudge inside, and we'll see the same thing happening. Wanted to roll that way before, stops right there and rolls back, and the crowd goes, $10. Anyway, in case you think it's this ball that has been engineered, programmed, magnetized to roll a specific way, it hasn't been. I can take this.
Water.
Ah, wow.
strawberry tequila and pour it out. Pay attention to both ends that are at the same elevation.
What? What is going on?
That was the best ooh and ah I've ever heard. And no, it's too late now. It's too late. Stop oohing and ahhing. No, I know why you guys are all staring at this thing. It turns back into water magically, right? So anyway, it's time for us to start the next part of our journey, which is this cabin. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to lead you folks to the first room, then the second room at the far end. So there are 2 rooms. We're going to go over some safety demonstrations so that nobody gets hurt in there. After that, you folks will have some time to explore both rooms yourselves. Let's get through our safety demonstrations quickly and quietly to maximize our time inside before the next group after us that started 12 minutes later will need to enter. So let's head on in this way. Oh yeah, we're going this way, yeah.
Gracias Progreso Furniture por ser nuestro patrocinador. Lo invitamos a que vea progresofurniture.com, donde usted podrá encontrar variedad de muebles, con crédito o sin crédito, con seguro social o con su ITIN. Bueno, ya vamos a meternos a la cabaña loca a ver qué pasa allá adentro. Ya estamos aquí adentro y la verdad que se siente mareado, la panza. Pero los invito para que sientan esta cosa tan rara, así que vamos a seguir aquí afuera.
Thank you. Your time inside the cabin you're wasting, people.
Papa, jaldi aao.
Come on in for a case.
Like Michael Jackson.
I know, it does. Yo wanna record.
Michael Jackson.
All right, everybody take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale.
Oh, I can feel it.
Exhale.
I can feel it in the
One more
chest.
time. Inhale. Exhale. We feeling that? That's the staggering 17-degree lean. Welcome to the cabin. And yeah, people that come back to the mystery spot decades later have told me what they remember the most is this extreme tilt. It's fun to play around with the different positions. You can stand out on this table with multiple people, but make sure that you mount. You guys listening? Make sure that you mount and dismount the table using this step ladder off to the right side. Do not jump off the table. Do not jump off the. You guys, if you jump off the table, you will not land where you think you're going to land. Your ACL will not thank you. So instead, you do what I'm doing and dismount over here. To show where your momentum goes, if you do jump off the table, I can show you over here. Watch this. So I will have the same lean when my feet leave the ground. They'll end up way over there by you guys. Look at this. If you jump off the table, that is the direction your momentum travels. So keep that in mind. Now, folks, this is not our only stop in the room. We're gonna go in there first, and then I'll send you folks free to explore both rooms yourself. So let's all head into here, guys, and put on here. First, we'll make you guys. You'll be really on the table after going through here. Let's head on in here. Directions ignore will land in. And this one doesn't really seem to do that. If you bring it here, watch how far it goes to the corner above the ceiling. So recognize what direction it has a tendency to go. This is a lead alloy ball, so it is fun to play around with, but it does weigh 32 pounds. Keep your distance when you're not using it. And also, there's the one person that needs to hear this. You can be Michael Jackson, right? Do not be Miley Cyrus. This is not. One other thing, we have this step ladder. Well, also, by the way, you can try these if you have space. But we have
that's
this
cool.
step ladder that works like a staircase. You can simply walk up it, and you can do some more fun poses once you get to the top of it. Just make sure that you dismount safely. Other than that, if you need to step outside for fresh air, please head out the exit where that group is. Do not head out the entrance. Be safe and have fun, and I'll let you folks know when it's time to start the next part of our tour. Enjoy, everybody. You're free to go.
You want to get on the bed? Ponte más allá.
I can't. No, you didn't.
I never feel anything. Just let them move like they want. Daniela.
You're not going in front, dude.
Hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Wow.
Just push myself back up like harder.
A little bit.
इसका मेरे पास पूरा वीडियो है वीडियो तो मैंने देखा है पूरा हाउ टू कंस्ट्रक्ट पापा
Hey, do it.
Which step harder?
It's fun.
What the heck?
Okay, go ahead.
पापा इधर
Let's go to the table. Oh! Oh, yeah, I know. It's like we're drunk. No, si caminamos, tira la bola.
दीदी कहाँ है
Papi, जल्दी आओ.
towards kids इधर देखिए
यार आप तो कितने डरपोक हो.
तेरे सेल्फी भी हो जाए यार
Bueno.
नहीं आएंगे सेल्फी में टेल.
आ रहा है जो भी है आ जाओ
Can you click on picture? चल तू इधर बैठ.
look at this
It's the recording.
He's been a voucher for
No?
Spider Girl.
Wow, no me había dado cuenta que sí parezco la mujer araña.
We do it for like 10 grand. That's how you know it's probably
Mom, I'm
good.
just feeling off.
You might want to take a picture.
So I've done my background research on the.
That's why I want to get that the little Toyota Tacoma because I'm getting my nephew.
Yeah.
Because I already have two.
I've already tested driven.
Creo que voy a volar.
I'm saying though. Those,
I had a Matchbox car model. So nostalgia's power.
you have to go there.
I want to drive. Yeah, I want to drive across the country with one of those.
Inside, bro.
Yeah, I've driven my friend's Prius to like here to Ohio. So I know. Yeah. I had to mention that because I was like, oh, you like,
And that too.
But it's inside.
That's insane.
I mean, it doesn't feel as heavy as I usually do.
I like that. Take a picture of you. Like that.
What do you want? What? Hola mi gente bella, muchas gracias por estar viendo Qué Rollo con Adi, aquí tu amiga Adi Fajardo, y nos encontramos en Mueblería Progreso, que es uno de mis patrocinadores, y quiero mostrarles una hermosura que tenemos aquí para cuando sea el cumpleaños de su esposa, la quinceañera de su hija o cualquier regalo. De verdad que me encanta, así que yo ya le voy a hacer la carta a los Santos Reyes para que me traigan este hermoso vanity. Tiene aquí su luz para que se ponga más bella la señora, se prende, se apaga, tiene su banquito, tiene sus cajoncitos y bueno, este es solamente una vanity lo que estoy enseñando, pero en realidad tienen bastante. Más adelante les voy a traer otro mueble más.
Y de regreso sí. Pues el primero que ahorita como que el cuerpo está acostumbrado.
What's cool about this? What did you What did he do here?
On this side of the area, you know, tall's in the back, small's in the front. And let's get started. All right, raise your hand if you felt a bit dizzy in there. Some hands. Inhale. Exhale. That's why this bench was built in the 40s when tours started. People needed a place to sit down, relax, and recollect themselves. It's not very good at its job unless you have tiny little legs. We use it for demonstration purposes. Raise your hand if you think this side is higher that I'm standing on. Raise your hand if you think the other side is higher. Raising your hand goes like this, by the way. Now raise your hand if you think it's a level surface. And raise your hand if you cannot trust a single word that Owen is saying anymore because he is a random guy in the woods who leads people to an old cabin and makes them feel funny. Everyone, right? Let's get some people. Only trust themselves to come right on up to the level and see where the bubble is. Come forward if you'd like to. You can see it from there. Very good. You have the right prescription. You'll be able to see where that bubble is. Yeah, it's off to the left-hand side. You see it there?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna prove you right after having pointed this way. I can take our billiard ball, set it down, and it rolls downhill because those same forces radiate outwards, so it doesn't affect the direction on the bench that it rolls.
Yeah.
So in other words, this side is higher. Now, if I walk downhill, does it look like I'm walking downhill right now? No, it doesn't. As I walk uphill, it looks like I get shorter. Now, many people assume or conclude it's the roof line because it's another optical illusion. Surely, right? Look how high it is over there. Look how low it is over there. No, it's not an optical illusion. If we deleted this cabin from existence and then we made it a blank background, we'd still be able to do the same demonstrations with the same effects. And I'll be able to show you guys that in a quick moment. Let's see, how tall are you? You might recoil for this one. Yeah.
5'8".
You're like 5'8". Can I borrow you if you wouldn't mind? What I'm gonna have you do is stand right over here and face our audience. Now, is anybody here about 5'6"? Could be 5'7", 5'5", right in there. You raise your hand. Can I borrow you since you're right here? Stand right there and face that way. Anybody here about 5'4"? Can I borrow you?
5'3", I'm 5'3".
Is anybody here about 5'2"? Saw your hand first, actually.
It's okay.
And is anybody here about 5 feet tall?
Daniel.
Alternatively, we could have somebody who's like 5'10", stand on the opposite side if anybody's in that range. But yeah, how tall are you?
It's like 5'2".
Like 5'2". Is anybody here? Yeah, so.
I'm 5'3".
5'3", man.
5'3".
Same, brother. I'm 5'6", my voice is 6'5". What of it? Anyway, nobody here is outside of this range. All right, fine. We'll just use these four. So scooch over to this side, scooch over a little bit, scooch over ever so slightly, and we have our 4G signal. I wish we had our 5G signal. We'll take what we can get out here. So anyway, these four can't see the roof line anymore unless they crane their necks like an owl or have eyes in the back of their skulls. So we need to give them a new frame of reference. Look left and right at each other's foreheads and mouths. The more awkward it is, the better. And now we're going to reverse the order of our line. So you two on the middle switch and you two on the end switch, and we'll see what happens. Keep in mind the taller people are walking uphill and the shorter people are walking downhill, and yet here we are, and the crowd goes, woo!
Wow!
Look left and right and see each other's eyeballs. Now, keep in mind, they're about 5'2" now, so they all shrunk to about your height, yeah. And the height that you lose goes back as you exit or go to the other side. Let's see a more drastic effect. You two stay exactly where you are as the other two switch places, and you'll be able to see something interesting, because it looks more like a staircase. So if you have any early childhood memories, you can look that way and get some flashbacks. This is what it's like to be about 6 feet tall if you look off that way, because they've all shrunk significantly. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody. Let's show off the bench's full effect now. Can I get one volunteer to help me? Could be anyone? Saw your hand first. What I'm going to have you do is stand on that end, face this way, and say stop when this level gets to your eye level. So face this way, say stop when it's your eye level. Stop. There we go. I've never felt shorter in my life. Walk to here very carefully and turn around once you get all the way to the other side. Watch your step as you do. Some uneven stuff. But yeah, turn around so they can see where your eye level has come to, and the crowd goes, ooh! Wow. Round of applause, everybody! Fantastic. You walked uphill to get there, by the way. Well, anyway, we have one. If you want to sit down here, best spots are against this fence, though. So you
Oh, Lord.
You'll be able to properly see what's happening. Alrighty. Welcome to the T-blocks, everybody. So these right here, concrete slabs that I'm standing on, were placed here level throughout, and they're not level anymore. But this time it's not because of the tree roots below. It's because of something else that happened in 1989 that changed the ground. Yeah, where does that ring a bell? the Loma Prieta earthquake made this side ever so slightly higher. Emphasis on slightly because if you pan your cameras over here, you'll be able to see how close to the middle that bubble still is. It travels to the right-hand side ever so slightly. And it's correctable if you take a little leaf, fold it in half and place it under, that bubble goes back to the middle. And so as a result, this accounts for about 1.5 to 2 inches of difference, with this side being this much higher than this side way over here. So keep that in mind. We'll see some more unaccounted for change than that in most instances. This is our last height demo of the day, and it requires 3 people. If you have not yet gotten the chance to volunteer and would like to, please raise your hand now. So you raise your hand. Would you like to volunteer? All right, we need 2 more people. If you've not yet gotten the chance going once, come on over, come on over. Very good. All right. So let's borrow you 2. So what I'm going to have you do is stand right here. Since you're right here, you're going to stand over here, and you're going to stand over there. And both of you will face the same direction that I'm facing, and you'll face me. Hi, what's your name? Nice to meet you, Daniel. How many fingers am I holding up? 2. Perfect. You're good enough to be a tour guide at the mystery spot. We trust you with our lives. You're going to be our scientific observer, which means you're going to be observing scientifically. I'm going to stand over here. All right, Daniel, is this taller than both of them with my level, yes or no? Yes. Love how confident you are. You didn't even look to your right. I'm going to lower this thing. Say stop when it gets to the height of the person on your right side wearing orange. All right, now look back and forth, Daniel. Do you want me to change it, raise it, lower it, or does that look good to you? All right, switch places, you 2. Daniel, make sure I keep this level right here and not move it. You'll be able to see what 1.5 to 2 inches of difference looks like, and the crowd goes, woo! At 1.5 to 2 inches of difference. Now, Daniel, you did this correctly. This is just the mystery spot where things don't make sense here, so don't lose any confidence. The amount of confidence that these 2 gain from standing there does stay forever. That is the one permanent change. Let's give these 3 a round of applause, everybody. Very degrees behind the mystery spot. Yeah, so do I. I'm raising my hand. The joke here is that they won't tell me. This is not the solve spot, otherwise I'd be unemployed. There's some theories that circulate. There could be a pool of magma below us, swirling in the opposite direction of Earth's rotation, explaining the compass readings and the circular shape of the mystery spot, or a hole in the ozone layer above our heads, causing light to refract differently, making us appear as if we're leaning when we're really standing up straight, or even hallucinogenic gases we've been breathing in and out this whole time for a low price of $10 and $5 coming from those cracks in the ground by the fault lines or the tree leaves. But my favorite theory goes like this. Put your hands together, rub them a bit, get excited, people. Alright, so this is my favorite theory to share. So a long time ago, an alien spaceship flew in through that hole in the ozone layer above our heads and death. When that happened, the aliens survived, but not just that, the spaceship's engine is still somewhere below us, turning and churning. Some people still report there being aliens on the premises these days, using a series of mind control power to make people rub their hands for no reason. And ooh and ah, planks of wood, so let me know if you spot any of them. No, I know the real reason. You all arrived at the stage. These guys are big, they're yellow, they're sticky, and native to the area. Found in parts of the Bay Area in Santa Cruz County. You may have seen your fair share of them already. We have plenty of them in here. That would, of course, be these guys, our world-famous mystery spot bumper stickers. And the crowd goes, ooh. Feel free to advertise for us or tape somebody's mouth shut.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like placing these on your motor vehicle, that's totally fine. We have some rental cars parked there that you can pick from. That is a joke, by the way. Don't actually do that. We dealt with that issue in August. I wonder whose fault that was.
Oh, no.
Anyway, you folks have been great. Let's give ourselves a round of applause, everybody. Yeah. If you like the tour, my name is Owen. If you dislike the tour, that's totally cool. My name is Natalie. Okay, please leave a review. Don't be shy. But in the meantime, after you grab your little one of these, when you head down, please be safe. Use caution, watch your step, use the rail. Hello everybody, and thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to Audie's channel if you haven't already. And thank you, subscribe for more content just like this. Appreciate you guys for watching. This has been The Mystery Spot from Santa Cruz, California.
Thank you so much. Aquí tu amiga Adi Fajardo. Gracias por estar viendo ¿Qué rollo con Adi?
Bueno, mis queridos amigos, esto fue el viaje aquí en Santa Cruz al lugar de Mystery Spot, el espacio misterioso. Y la verdad que sí es muy misterioso porque, híjole, cuando nos entramos a esas cabañitas allá arriba, sí que se siente una sensación súper rara. Me mareé, hasta me dio calor, ya hasta me quité la chamarra, en serio. Mi estómago estaba revuelto, mi cabeza así como que, pero es algo, I don't know, no sé cómo decirles, divertido, pero misterioso. No sabemos, no saben por qué se siente esa gravedad en este lugar, Pero bueno, los invitamos a que vengan a Mystery Spa aquí en Santa Cruz. Y muchas gracias por estar viendo mi canal. Recuerden de suscribirse. Por favor, ayúdenme a compartir para que mi canal crezca porque quiero llegar a los 1000 por lo menos. Voy empezando y necesito su ayuda. Un saludo a todos los que nos están viendo y nos vemos para el próximo video.